In this demo, we will be demonstrating Silverware's QC module within the cannabis industry with the use of our add-on Silverleaf CBC that is available within Microsoft AppSource. At first glance, when signing into Business Central, you will see a role center specifically designed around our QC module. We have two role centers that can be chosen, QC admin, which is what I will be using throughout the demo, and QC user. We will be navigating using the buttons from within the role center, but the same information can be found within the native search functionality within Business Central. At a high level, we will review the QC setup and the base setup behind the quality control module. Within QC setup, we have the ability to enable the QC module at a company level, turn on the requirement for QC documents to be approved upon result entry, processes around a quarantine location, the numbering of QC documents and QC production measurement documents, inheritance setup field to simplify processes, and lastly, the establishment of 6 COA reports that can be utilized throughout Business Central. Moving back to the role center, we will be reviewing QC groups. The QC module gives you unlimited amount of flexibility in building your own unique QC tests, formulas, and groups to fit your specific quality control needs. The QC tests have multiple options to fit every person's needs, as well as completely customized QC test results to establish a custom pass-fail range based on any QC test type. Going to the item list, we then have the ability to establish QC groups against the items and/or item category codes to determine which items and/or item category codes will require QC test results to be entered on a lot before it can be released to be used. As you can see here, we have a QC group fast tab where we can assign our QC group code directly to the item. Also, as mentioned on the item category code, we have the ability to assign QC groups to the item category code to quickly assign across multiple items throughout the system. Also on the item card, we can also establish inheritance of results during an assembly and/or production process to automatically allow the new produced item to inherit the results from another consumed item during those processes. I will now show you, upon receiving of new material, a mandatory QC document will be automatically generated. So by going into my purchase order against this raw material item of blueberry bulk trim, I will be receiving in this lot with this tag number, metric tag number assigned to it. So upon posting of the receipt, you will see a QC document generated against this lot. So now if I was to go to my QC documents to review any new mandatory documents that could be possibly generated. So I will set this in descending order. You will see now here is my raw material of blueberry strain for that lot number I generated now has a mandatory QC document generated against it. To take this a step further, I am going to go back to our item list page and filter for our raw bulk trim item. You will notice that we have a new field available of QC available inventory along with the native Business Central quantity on hand. You will notice that if I drill into the QC available inventory, our lot/tag is not shown in this available list. Now, if I was to drill into the item card and go into our inventory fast tab, you will also notice we have an additional field available of QC unavailable inventory. Upon drilling into this value, you will notice at first glance that our blueberry bulk trim that we just received in is here in our QC unavailable inventory, preventing of use. To show you that QC unavailable inventory cannot be used, I will be going to a released production order that contains the bulk trim as material to be consumed. So going within this production order, I will be going to a production journal and selecting my lot to consume my material. So within here, I can select my lot, close out this, and when I, of course, try to post my consumption of material, we should be seeing an error message that gets displayed, or an error that displays there is an open QC document, so thus I cannot consume this material until it has passed. Now let us review the information that is available within the QC document. So taking a step back and going into my search, I will bring up our QC documents. I will then sort this in descending order to bring our most relevant QC document to the top of the list. And upon entering, you will see there is an abundance of information through QA tracking. Whether that is who and when the QC document was generated, any outstanding samples that may exist, who the lab is that will be testing the samples, the source information that generated the QC document, including the lot, tag, and source information, and finally, the inventory and testing information that is relevant against this QC document. From within the QC document, we have the ability to create an external sample that can either be added to an existing sales order for shipment to the lab, or creation of a new sales order for shipment to the lab. This allows for full traceability of inventory leaving the facility and to whom it went to. To generate external samples from a QC document, we must first assign the vendor the samples will be sent to, then proceed to click external samples. So upon adding my vendor of lab, I will then go into our lab and samples, and I will then say prepare external samples. From here, I can establish how much quantity I will be shipping to the lab, as well as which location the inventory will be leaving from. And upon hitting OK, it is going to prompt me to either add to an existing sales order for shipment or to create a new one. In this example, I will be creating a new sales order. So upon hitting no, this will generate a new sales order and a confirmation will appear of the creation of a new sales order for shipment of the sample. Going within the sales order and viewing the information, you will be able to see that the sales line gets automatically generated with the QC document and lot information automatically attached for shipment. Now going back to our QC document, you will notice that we have this field here denoting our outstanding sample quantity that is currently sitting within the sales order itself. Now proceeding back into our sales order, and if we were to ship that quantity, you will notice that quantity will then be reduced to 0, and our inventory will be updated accordingly. So upon allowing that to ship, I'm going to proceed back into my QC document. You'll notice our quantity then gets reduced to 0. It gets updated with our new sample sales shipment number. If I go down into our inventory, you will notice that it has been reduced and we have an issued sample quantity field populated showing how much has been currently issued. Along with creating external samples, we also can create internal samples. We could issue an internal sample directly from within the QC document itself, or what I'm going to show is the ability to create samples via our QC scan worksheet. So I'm going to go into the search and type in QC scan worksheet, select a related link, and you will notice we have the scan field in which then we can scan and or populate our lot and or CBC tag number. And upon entering, you will notice that all of the information relevant to that tag or lot number will populate below. Then from within this QC scan worksheet, we have the ability to create external samples and internal samples. In this example, I'm going to create an internal sample. You'll notice I'm getting prompted because I already generated an external sample against this related lot. I'm going to go ahead and proceed to say yes to create my internal sample. As you will notice, we get this same dialog box that is related And similar to our external samples where we enter in our sample quantity as well as where it's being issued from. Upon clicking OK, we are going to get prompted if we want to open the item journal in which the line got inserted to. We simply will say yes to open our journal. I'm going to enter a reason code. Then I can proceed to post, and this will then remove the inventory for our internal sample. Now going back to our QC document, and upon receiving the results from the lab, we will be able to add the results against the QC document. But upon receiving the results, you may notice there is additional testing information you may want entered against a specific QC document that you do not currently see in the testing lines. But we have built in the functionality where you can add QC tests on the fly. You simply just click Add QC Tests, and then you would select the QC test that you want to add, it for the additional testing. You simply select it, say OK, and that will add the new testing to be entered against. We will now enter our results that we received back from the lab. We simply by going and clicking into Process and then QC Result Entry. We made this process very simple by simply just clicking into the value text field and entering the results accordingly. We also added the fact box on the right-hand side showing you your pass and fail result options as well. So I can enter a THC value, my CBD value, a total cannabinoids. I can simply enter pass or fail for the results. And upon once all the results have been entered, I simply post my results and say yes. And this will then submit all the results into the system, and this will then set the status of the QC document accordingly. Additionally, if you receive the results back for multiple QC documents, we added the ability to enter the results in a bulk fashion by going into your QC journal-generic. From here, we have a button that says Suggest QC Documents, in which case you could set a numerous amount of filters. You just click OK, and this will then pull in multiple QC documents and the lines, in which case we can begin to enter as many values as possible against all of these QC documents, all within one page. Stepping away from QC documents, we will be discussing QC production measurement documents, where we have the ability to enter results against a production process. In the search, I'm going to proceed and enter release production orders to bring our list of production orders up. Scroll through the list and find the associated order, select it to begin to open the order. You will notice we have a fact box designated as production measurement documents, where a document will be automatically generated upon a refresh of the production order. I can quickly access the document right from within the fact box, either by view document, or I can immediately begin to enter the results. I will first initially open the document. As you can see here, very similar to our QC document with our test results and the sourcing information. And just as we did on a QC document, I'm going to go into our process and begin to enter our results. And just as our QC document, very similar fashion, we will begin our entering our results with our helpful fact box displaying our pass and fail result options. So I'm going to go ahead and say we checked our extract equipment and also entering a temperature check and proceed to post accordingly. And from here, our QC production measurement document has now been posted and marked as passed. To demonstrate the inheritance process within our QC module, of which QC results on QC documents moving from one item to another, in this example, this will be done using our production order process. I'm going to go into the production journal from within our production order. And within our cannabis item, I will be selecting a lot and or CBC tag. You will notice on our tag selection that we have our results entered here with our passable results. I'm going to select our tag, and now I'm going to go ahead and create a new lot associated to my final package item. So I'm going to automatically assign a lot number as well as assign a metric tag number associated to it. You will then notice upon posting of this production order the results will automatically flow over to our new generated lot. So as this is posting, I'm going to allow this to post. Click OK. I'm going to go ahead and close this out. And upon going to our QC lot information list and filtering for our lot number that I have handy here in the search, you will notice that it automatically transitioned and inherited the result from our previous tested bulk material. From an accounting standpoint, we have the ability to reconcile QC documents with the expenses received from the external labs. To do this, I will begin by going into my QC documents and finding a QC document that I will want to reconcile. So let me go ahead and set this in descending order. I'm going to go ahead and use this QC 137. First things first is we must always have a lab vendor number selected and as well as the external report number. The external report number should be set upon when the results are received and the team enters those results. That external report number should be entered at that time. And then we'll proceed to follow our normal purchase invoice process. So I'm going to go to our purchase invoices. I'm going to create a new purchase invoice for our lab vendor. I'm going to enter our vendor invoice number. And then here we have a function called get QC documents. From here, we'll show you all available QC documents that have a vendor and that external report number entered. I can simply select our QC document, click OK, and that will pull in our GL amount and our information. And within our purchase invoice, I will simply enter in our dollar amount associated to the invoice that's been received from the vendor. And then I will proceed to post the invoice. And once it's been posted, I'll go ahead and hit no here. And then going back to our QC documents, and I'm going to set this in descending order again to pull up our more recent QC documents. And going into our QC 137, you will notice it has been marked as invoiced as well as a posted purchase invoice number here for easy reference for future use. We also understand from a sales perspective that customers may ask for specific lots and or tags during the sales process. So from within our sales orders, and selecting my sales order, you will notice upon the lot selection and or tag selection that we have the ability to see the QC test results right from within our lot selection. So going into our line item, choosing our item tracking lines, and upon our lot selection, you will notice from right here our available lots as well as our QC documents and all of our QC test result entries all from within a single page for easy selection. We also understand the importance of being able to report on these results in a very easy manner. So we developed a page called QC Test Entries. And within QC Test Entries, it is very similar to your subledgers and GL history, where you have all this information on a single page. We did the same thing with our QC test results. We have this QC Test Entries, which upon entering a result, all of this information goes into a single page, which allows for Power BI and Jet reports, etc., to be able to pull from a single page and get all this relevant information very easily into your own made reports. And that concludes our demo of our Silverware Quality Control module with some uses of our Silverleaf CBC add-on within Business Central. We hope you enjoyed this quick demo and feel free to reach out to us at info@silverw.com.